The M8 Light Armored Car, or the Greyhound as it's known in British service. This was an armored car that the British and Americans used during World War II, with the Ford Motor Company producing over 12,000 of these vehicles during the war. Near 4,000 of these vehicles would be the turretless M20 version, which could be used as a personnel carrier, reconnaissance vehicle, artillery spotter, and carry more radio equipment. These armored cars have seen significant modification over their lifetime. The armored personnel carrier in Die Hard, for example, is an M8 with the turret removed, serving as a personnel carrier. The M8 would become one of the most modified and longest-serving vehicles coming out of World War II. The Germans captured M8s and would often turn them into anti-aircraft vehicles, mounting MG-151s. Even today, the Greyhound has been modernized in many ways, still in active service in many nations. The map here shows former operators of the Greyhound in red, and current in blue. Current operators have modified the Greyhound with missile launchers, mortars, machine guns, etc. Of course, the vast majority of Greyhounds would be armed with a 37mm M6 anti-tank gun. The 37mm gun was introduced in 1940 and was the first dedicated anti-tank gun fielded by the United States in large numbers. This gun would further be mounted to the Stuart light tank and the M3 Lee. The gun had a decent high-explosive round, but by mid-war, its armor-piercing round was useless against all but light German tanks. Though when used in the Pacific, the Greyhound could be used in its original tank-destroyer role against thinly armored Japanese tanks. The Greyhound further had a 30 caliber and 50 caliber machine gun. The Greyhound was first envisioned as a fast tank destroyer to replace the M6 37mm gun motor carriage, essentially a 3/4-ton truck with a 37mm gun in the rear bed. By the time the Greyhound was introduced and selected by the Army in April of 1942, it was clear the vehicle wasn't going to be a tank destroyer, so it would take on the reconnaissance role instead. That being said, there are several accounts of Greyhounds being able to sneak up on and get the better of larger German tanks from the rear, including a popular account of a Greyhound destroying a Tiger at St. Vith in Belgium in December of 1944. These accounts always spark some debate, but at point-blank ranges, it's theoretically possible. A 37mm cannon can fire up to 25 rounds per minute, and the more hits on a big tank, the luckier a Greyhound might get in hitting a bad weld or section of weakened steel. A 37mm armor-piercing round can penetrate 60mm of steel plate if at close range and hitting the armor at an angle of 0 degrees. The M8 has good on-road and decent off-road performance with its 6x6 wheel design. On-road, it can travel upwards to 55 miles per hour or 89 kilometers an hour, and distances of 400 miles or 640 kilometers on a single tank of gas. Powering the vehicle was a Hercules JXD 6-cylinder inline gasoline engine, producing 110 horsepower at 3,200 RPM. The engine ran quietly relative to its power. M8 armored cars in Patton's Third Army were known as Patton's Ghosts due to their relative stealth. However, the engine was also known for overheating. Crews further complained about the wide turning radius. One of the major concerns for crews was the vehicle's weak armor. Anti-tank mines could easily penetrate the hull and kill the crew rather than just damaging a wheel. Some crews lined the crew compartment floor with sandbags, and an add-on armor kit for belly armor became available in late 1944. The armor of the M8 was only designed to protect against shrapnel and small arms fire. Front-sloped armor varied from 0.5 to 0.75 inches. The turret had the best armor at 0.75 inches thick, all round. The vehicle is operated by 4, a commander who also served as the loader, a gunner, driver, and radio operator. Vehicles carried a maximum of 80 rounds for the 37mm gun, which was reduced for vehicles with a second radio. The vehicle was armed for the recon role and was ready to engage soft targets and hastily retreat. The crew carried a significant number of grenades, including smoke grenades, 1,500 rounds for the 30 caliber machine gun, and 400 rounds for the 50 caliber, and 6 anti-tank mines. Alright, I'm Johnny. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this Greyhound video quite fetching. If you want to support the channel, give a like, and I won't hound you any further. Do take care, and have a nice rest of your day.